Well, here we are. Welcome to another Lonely Friday night. Welcome to Sam Roberts Now. It is the loneliest show on all of the internet. It's the loneliest place to be, and what better time than the holiday season to keep it lonely? And how do we keep it lonely? With the one, with the only, let's see. Yeah, Hot Dog's here. Yeah, he's here. There's Hot Dog.
Hey, yo.
Oh, you know who I am, and you're still confused as to why I'm here. Hot Dog. Yeah, you know who I am, but you don't know why Sam keeps inviting me back.
Look at the adjective.
He'll never live that down. It was so cool and not at all correct. Well, welcome to Sam Roberts Now. Welcome to Lonely Friday. I hope you're all doing good. Don't forget to super chat. Every super chat gets read. Like and subscribe, because sometimes when people speak incorrectly, it's just one of those things that becomes embarrassing for the next several decades. And even though they accomplish a lot, we still can have fun and laugh about that. Other times when people speak incorrectly, and by speak incorrectly, I mean lie, they end up completely broke forever. Oh, Rudy. They got your boy Rudy, Hot Dog. They got him.
Seen here listening to the judge.
America's mayor. This is his wealth dripping down his face. Rudy Giuliani, he couldn't believe it. Look at his face. He's so shocked. What? You know what's so great? It's like, was this the photo when he found out that he butt dialed CNN? Was this the photo when he accidentally booked Four Seasons Landscaping instead of the Four Seasons Hotel? Was this the look when he found out he was on Borat? Yeah. When he found out he was trying to flirt with Borat? Or was this the look when he found out that a judge in Georgia had spoken to a jury, and the jury had gotten together and decided an appropriate amount of money to pay two poll workers that he that he defamed? $148 million. $148 million. It has been reported that, and this is just the worst thing that you want reported about you, that his earnings and assets will be garnished for the rest of his life. It's just...
Congratulations.
To those two individuals. Yes. Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss, two Georgia poll workers who got all mixed up through accusations of the election. They said that they were harassed, that threats were made against them, that racist things were sent to them, that it was just... Their credibility was ruined. He ruined their lives. And a jury said, it seems that he did. So you get everything. They were like, we'd like something. We'd like something. Oh, you'd like something? How would you like everything?
Everything and more.
And more.
I highly doubt he has 140 million stashed away.
He doesn't. And even if he did, he'd still owe 8 million.
Yeah.
Even if he does have 140 million, but it's everything, he'd still owe another $8 million. And
yeah, don't worry, honey. I have 140 million for occasions just like this.
How are we gonna? Shit. Yeah, because you realize, like,
148,
140, 148. What's the difference? But it's a huge difference. Imagine if you were like, I have nothing, and I'm in debt $8 million. That's so much to be in debt. I mean, you know, in comparison to the 140, it seems like not a lot, but if you 8 is still a lot. Like if somebody was like, Sam, we need $8 million from you, you might as well take 140. I don't have 8 million. I don't have 1 million. You know,
take $1 billion.
Yeah, whatever you want. Just make up numbers now. We're just going crazy. That's probably where he's at. 140 might as well be a gazillion, you know?
It's like when judges hand out double life sentences.
Right. And
let's make it triple.
Yeah. Will they be served concurrently? No, consecutively. Okay. All right. Well, give me another one then. Give me, fine. That's fine. Yeah. So if you were to ask on 9/11, what's going to happen to Rudy? You know, not on 9/11, but like right after 9/11.
That's what I did.
I think
Third grade, I asked.
Yeah, like October 2001. If you had said what's going to happen to Rudy, I would have said probably become the president and live happily ever after. I guess that's my guess. I would have been incorrect. I'm glad I didn't go on record and saying that that's what I think is going to happen.
This is some guy who had it made, pretty much.
He did.
I mean, once you get to the status of America's mayor,
he was America's mayor. It all started.
Just call it.
Call it. But then he was like, "Oh, I'd like to be America's president," and America was like, "Nah, no." And then
it's like blackjack.
Yeah.
He was at 20, and he said, "Hit me." Now he's $148 million in the hole.
Yeah. Why'd you put $148 million on that hand? I had 20. I thought there was no way I could lose. What are you talking about? Of course. $148 million. You got 20. Hit me. What? Yeah, I got 20. I mean, I'm about to get blackjack. It's so close.
So close.
Yeah, it's 2. Ah, damn it.
Who could have seen this coming?
Yeah, it's a 2. Ah! Yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, I'm sure he'll appeal it. Although at this point, it's like, does he really want to appeal it? Because then he'll owe legal fees as well. And he's already 148. Like,
what difference does it make? Appeal it.
Does the lawyer even want to work for him at that point? Doesn't he go like, you're not going to be able to pay me. You owe these ladies 148 million. Like, I can't be spending all my time doing this.
Right. A lawyer would take a case, I guess, if they're not going to get money for the exposure. Right. But I mean,
yeah.
What good exposure would you get out of this?
We don't get paid unless you get paid. We're getting paid $148 million. Yes. Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
I want to get defamed. How do we get defamed?
I would have thought that for both of us, that would have happened a lot of times by now. You know what the problem is? Every time we think we're getting defamed, it turns out to be true. And we go, oh, okay, all right, well, we'll just have to wait for the next one. Yeah. Can you prove what you just said about us? They go, yeah, of course we can. All right. Well, I'll wait for the next one then. Oh, wait.
They were judged by a jury of their peers, and they found it to be accurate.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, apparently. I was just like, I mean, this literally is breaking right before we went on. I was just kind of scanning through the articles. And one of the articles said that, like, the prosecution asked for way less money. The prosecution asked for less. And then the defense was like, we even less. It shouldn't be that much. It should be even less. And then the jury was like, how about way more than either of you said? Because
why?
The jury was probably like, well, there's 2 of them. They got to split it. So, you know, we can't make.
And also, fuck Rudy.
I believe that the judge told the jury, like, this should be, let's teach him a lesson. Let's make this one count.
Yeah, this is a fuck you verdict. If if the prosecution wanted much less, and all of a sudden you're like, no, you deserve more.
Yeah. Do you think he knew his hair dye was running down his face in this picture? You think he was like, "Oh, I'm sweating"? They were like, "No, man, that's your hair."
I would think it feels like sweat.
Why would you dye your hair right before something in public? Like, wouldn't you dye it like the night before or hours or whatever? Like, he clearly just did that. Like, you're going outside right now.
When he was outside.
I have no idea. It could literally be anything. It could be. I can tell you that it probably happened within the last decade, but it could be literally any day of the last decade. This could have been what he was doing.
Well, yeah, I mean, because if this was the 4 seasons and they're outside, no air conditioning in the middle of summer, I could see how it could run down.
He thought he was going to be in a luxury hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Rudy Giuliani, the jury came back, and they've decided to that he has to pay these 2 Georgia poll workers that he discredited and defamed $148 million. Now I wonder how much they'll actually get. I wonder, like, when they go through and they start garnishing things, right? Like when they went through like OJ's house and just started taking his shit. Did they give the shit to the people, or do they sell it at like auction and then give the auction winnings to the people? Or do they go like, here's all of Rudy Giuliani's suits, you can sell them for the cash?
I would want it to, obviously I don't know, but I would want it to be they sell it, because why would anyone want, like whatever it is, $10 million worth of portraits or, whatever, paintings.
I just want a lawsuit. I'm not trying to, you're giving me a job here. Like, you sell it and give me the money. I don't even care if you skim a little bit off the top. It's all found money. Who cares?
Like, imagine if you won a $10 million lawsuit, Sam, against Logan Paul.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they were like, here's a Pokemon card valued at $10 million.
And I was like, okay, who's in the market for a $10 million Pokemon card? And they go, well, just Logan Paul. And he just lost a big lawsuit. So, yeah, no, that'd be tough. Hey, Sam, we got 2 truckloads of Prime coming to your house. Okay, what am I going to do with all this Prime? I'm not even thirsty.
It's valued at $2 million.
$2 million worth of electrolytes? I'm not thirsty.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably save money by bribing. What do you call those people that put value on like an item? Put the value on it. Like, this is worth $10 million.
Sure.
Right. Yeah, you could probably bribe someone $500,000. Tell that person you should value this at $100 million and save a lot more money in the process.
Yeah, and just give me the cash. Just the cash, and you get like, what am I going to go to a gas station with all this Prime and go like, can I just like, what's wholesale? Can I sell it to you less than wholesale? Like,
from now on, you go to me for Prime.
Yeah. Just hanging out outside of high schools trying to sell Prime. You guys like Logan Paul? It'd be tough.
Sam just gave up his entire career. No more radio, no more WWE.
Well, I got 6 trucks of Prime that I got to get rid of to get my winnings in the lawsuit. It's crazy. Yeah, I mean, what do you got? Like, these ties. Rudy Giuliani like has very expensive ties, so we're gonna give you all of his ties. Well, what am I gonna do with? Can I go to like? Will they buy them back at Lord and Taylor? No, Lord and Taylor doesn't even exist. Well, what am I gonna do with these then?
You would have to find the Gus Fring of ties so you could sell it wholesale.
Yeah, at a major discount. Somebody's got a whole network of ties.
Black market ties.
That's right. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see how much. I mean, I'm sure he's going to appeal it. It'd be nice if it was like the lottery, where you just get a check. I would want to do it where there's like some go between, and I'm like, okay, I want $148 million from Rudy. What I would I go, all right, give me $70 million cash right now. Like, this should be a business, like a bail bondsman. How about you give me $70 million right now, and we're good. You never talk to me again. I take the 70 cash, and you collect the 148. So, like, that's your thing. You are looking to make a profit of $78 million if you can get all of it, and I don't ever have to deal with it. I can just take the big upfront chunk right now. And I mean,
that is a thing. You could sell. I mean, you can sell your whatever you have to debt collectors and. At a loss, obviously.
I don't know if you could do that with lawsuit winnings, though, because that has to go through the courts and everything. It's not like you just show up to Giuliani's house going like, did you sell that statue yet?
That should be a thing. That should be like, whoever owes me $100, I could just go to someone else and be like, hey, Sam, by the way, now you owe Debo $100. He just gave me 50.
Yeah, like I would hire Dog the Bounty Hunter. And I go, hey, Dog, why don't you give me $40 million? And then the rest is up to you. You go, you get your bow knife, you get your mullet, and you do whatever you got to do to go on a Dog the Bounty Hunter mission to get the rest of your money. And you could use whatever words you want. I don't care.
Sell it to someone real threatening.
Yeah. I would definitely do that. And I go, but me and you don't talk anymore after this. I don't see any other way to get it.
I mean, they're not going to get 140. There's no. I mean, he doesn't have the funds for that. But they'll get. 20 million. I mean, who's gonna be mad about 20 million?
Just give me everything. Just
Would be mad
whatever. What do you got? How much can I give you? What do you got?
Run your pockets, dog.
Yeah, run his pockets. I mean, you understand how stressful that would be? They're going to be paying attention to everywhere he lives. Unless you have to live in a shitty apartment for the rest of your life. Because he's like, I don't have anything else. What about this house? It's a nice house. You could probably get a lot of money for this house. But this is my house. You got a nice bed too. You got a nice bed. How much do you think we could get for that bed?
Ooh, that's a nice bed.
That's a nice bed. Oh no. Let me check. Oh, you got a bidet on your toilet. Oh, this is one of those Japanese toilets, huh? You got some luxury shit in here.
Oh, you got money.
Oh no. Look at the faucets on this shower. Oh, you got some nice faucets.
I think that should be the ruling for any case like this. The winners get to go to the person's private home once a month.
Oh, jeez.
Or randomly, just a random knock.
Right.
And then just scour through and grab whatever they want.
Just pick and choose. Yeah. Yeah, there's a minimum monthly payment, which is a lot if it's 148 million. There's a minimum monthly payment, and if you don't make the minimum monthly payment, I get to go to your house and pick through to try to make up for it.
I'm not going to announce when I'm coming.
No, I'm not going to announce when I'm coming, but I'm going to look at what you're wearing, and you got some nice shoes on. What size are those shoes, by the way? What size are those shoes?
Oh.
My cousin's a size 11. Take off those shoes, buddy. Take them off your feet.
Yeah, that would suck. I would have to sell everything and put it in my mom's name or something.
Yeah, I mean, no.
And they get to go to your mom's house.
No, you'd be back. You know where you'd be. You'd never be at DR. Hello, baby. Hello. You'd be on the Dominican Republic giving people massages on beaches, trying to avoid everything. Just
wig on.
Yeah, with a wig on.
I changed genders.
Operating in cash only. Yeah. This is the only way. Hey, man. That's a nice jacket. It's cold outside.
Oh, man, I like this jacket. Why you doing me like this, dog?
I just want to try it on. Let me just try it on. I just want to try it on. Don't be like that, man. Let me try this jacket on. It fits me better than you. Who do you think it looks better on, me or you? It does look.
A week later, you're like, "Can I get my jacket? What jacket?"
I didn't take your jacket. Okay. That's how I learned, by the way. I had to learn. You never fool me twice. I'll never forget. In 3rd grade, because I'd come from England, right? So I didn't know about these hard Westchester streets. In 3rd grade, and this is how I'd be collecting for a lawsuit too. We had pretzel rods for sale, right? And you could get, they were 5 cents each. So, they were 10 cents each, but you could get 3 for a quarter. Okay. So that was the deal, obviously. So one day Daryl came up to me and he goes, Sam, let me get a quarter. Let me borrow a quarter, borrow a quarter so I can get some pretzel rods. I said, okay. I gave him the quarter. A couple weeks later, comes up to me, Sam, I know you got a quarter. Let me get a quarter so I can get some pretzel rods. I said, Daryl, because you didn't pay me back the last time. And he looked at me and he went, I paid you back. And I went, oh.
Daryl sounds like Debo.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it was. And it was, oh, I guess you did. Here's your quarter. And and then you realize you're making a donation at that point. It is what it is.
Well, I mean, he owes you 50 cents now, doesn't he? And with interest.
With interest, Daryl. Oh, hey, speaking of money, that's another. I don't know why he was.
That is speaking of money.
Yeah, he's looking at his bank balances right now. He can't believe it. Nothing's there anymore. Nothing's there. Speaking of money, Guy Fieri was on Fox News. Now, look, this isn't. This is a bigger conversation than just this clip, but I want to play this clip for you because he's talking about not leaving money for his kids. And for some reason, there are certain celebrities and rich people that love talking about how they're not going to give their kids money. And they're like, isn't that great? And they find people to be like, yeah, that's so great. You're teaching these kids such a great lesson. Listen to my man, Guy Fieri, the king of the chicken finger.
My dad says, when I die, you can expect that I'm going to die broke and you're going to be paying for the funeral. And I told my boys, none of this that I've been building are you going to get unless you come and take it from me. So if you want it, so my nephew Jules is in the music industry down in LA. He's in the law program at Loyola Marymount right now. You know, if you're going to be a big.
This is where he kind of shifts, and he's like, see, but because I'm a good parent, that's why they're in college, because I told them you can't have any of this. Now, he never explained, like, I don't think his dad was on diners, drive-ins, and dives, you know? I don't think that his dad was like a millionaire food personality. I think that his dad was just like a guy who might have actually died broke. But, like, I mean, I understand, first of all, like, the whole culture of waiting for a loved one to die so you get their money is so weird and morbid. Like, I mean, I guess there are people like that. But if you're a kid and you're going like, well, I'm not really worried long term because hopefully my parent will be dead soon and I'll get their money. Like, you're not, it has nothing to do with you having a sense of entitlement. You're a terrible person. It's a totally different thing. Like, you're a bad person.
Because when that day comes, you're just thinking about the money at this point. You're like,
your parents are dead. Like, yeah, you should be very sad. Like, if you get a check in inheritance, it should be like, well, I guess, but like, I'm still pretty bummed out about what I had to go through to get the check, you know?
Yeah.
And then for like the rich people, like Guy Fieri, God bless him, by the way, because it's no different from an athlete or a musician or any of these people who are like, no. I'm getting, like, even when Bill Gates is like, no, I'm giving all my money to charity. My kids aren't getting anything. It's like, people, if you have like 100,000, if you're making like 100 or 200,000, that might be from working hard. But if you're making millions of dollars, no matter what you're doing, if you're making millions of dollars, there's a high percentage of luck that went into you making the millions. That's for every single person ever that is making millions of dollars. The only way you make that kind of money is if you had some good fortune in there, which is great, which is fine.
You met the right person at the right time. The right opportunity opened up.
I mean, bro, this guy
you were born with the, crazy genetics to be a monster at basketball.
Exactly. Or you fucking like time things out really well, and you're a smart guy. Guy Fieri is clearly a smart guy. Smart guy, has a lot of ability. But like, it's not like his kids are going to be like, well, my dad really, busted ass. He went to every sandwich store and tried the sandwiches. And people loved the show. So he made a ton of money. I can't have any of it.
I'm not totally against that though. And I don't know, because all right, let's say I hit the lottery, all of a sudden I'm rich, and I leave nothing to my kids when I die. They still got enough from me while they were living that they should have built something for themselves.
That's such because if they so you can handle winning the lottery, but they can't handle also, like, you won the lottery. Why wouldn't you share that?
Where the money's going?
Why wouldn't you create generational wealth with lottery winnings, as opposed to being like, no, dog, I'm gonna bury it with me.
I got mine.
That's a narcissistic, selfish thing to do. To go like, no, because I can handle having millions of dollars because I went to the diners. So I can handle. I went to the diners, I went to the drive-ins, and I went to the dives. So I can handle having the millions of dollars. My kids can't handle it. Well, then raise them. Raise your kids. Entitlement is like, I know tons of entitled kids that don't have millions of dollars. You know why they're so entitled? They didn't get raised. They got shithead parents. Yeah.
Like, what about this?
Okay.
How about the opposite? When if you're
like,
if
what's the
you're really
difference?
rich,
What's the difference between winning the lottery and then getting the inheritance of somebody that won the lottery?
those are both lotteries.
Like, that's just you being selfish because you won and I didn't. Like, when Guy Fieri was just like, what we built, I mean, what I built. Like, your family didn't help you build that shit. Your family didn't help create this life.
Not my kids.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't do any of
my
it.
mom and dad.
Can you imagine that? If I went to my kids and I was like, the Notsam fortune, you'll get none of it because you didn't do it. I did. Get to work. Like, okay. I learned two
Well, where's the
things.
money going?
You have to work, and my dad was a total dickhead, asshole.
But where's the money going? Like, if he's Bill Gates is going to donate it to charity, that's kind of noble.
There's nothing wrong with donating
like-
to charity, but to say that I am donating to charity so my kids don't get it is crazy. It's nuts. You don't trust your
What if
kids? Like, why wouldn't you have kids that you want to continue your legacy? And continue your legacy does not mean that they will also be the host of Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. Continue your legacy means, look at this. This fortune was amassed, and he raised such great kids that they were able to continue on. Instead, it's like, no, homie, I spent all of it because fuck those kids.
Well, which one do you think is worse? Spending all of it in your lifetime and enjoying the money that you got lucked into, and your kids unfortunately can't get that, or giving it off to someone else because fuck those kids, like charity, for example.
That's a great question. I mean, great question. It's better, I guess, depending on the charity. I guess it's. But if the reason for giving to the charity is because fuck those kids, that's not cool. Like,
right.
Like,
but also, what about just spending all of it?
I just don't understand how somebody can make stupid money, like not like comfortable money, like dumb, stupid money that like an individual was never supposed to have that much money, and go.
Yeah.
The only reason to have that kind of money is to pass it down through generations, to create a whole thing. Like, that's why. What are you earning money for otherwise? Like, why are you making? Why are you okay? In order to make that kind of money, theoretically, you have to spend time away from your family, right? Theoretically, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to go to work. Yeah. Okay, and the reason you're doing that is because you're the breadwinner, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're working and not spending time with your family, and then they're not getting the money when you die, why don't you just not make the money? What are you doing? Why are you making all that? Why are you going? What are you working for? Why are you doing this? Like, how is this?
Walter White.
Go ahead.
Walter White said on the final episode of Breaking Bad, "I did it for me."
Exactly. Exactly. That's all it is. Everybody wants to be like, no, I'm teaching great lessons. No, I'm going to raise great kids. No, my kids are going to be entitled otherwise. No, it's because you're a Walter White. He was a monster at the end of that show. A monster. There was nothing redeemable about that asshole by the end of that show. That's the same mentality as I'm going to leave my kids with nothing so that they can, because what you're saying is, I'm going to leave my kids with nothing so that they can learn to be as great as me, which is the most egotistical, crazy thing to think. Like, my kid's 6 years old. I already think he's a better person than me.
Okay, well, do you worry, like, let's say, again, you strike, you hit the lottery, you get 100 million. Do you worry that if you leave you leave 50 million to your kids, not necessarily that they are going to be spoiled, because by the time you die, they're already, grown or whatever, but maybe like it's going to be a generational thing where your grandkids are going to be spoiled, but your great grandkids are going to be spoiled.
You think on my deathbed, I'm on my deathbed, I'm like, oh fuck, what if my great grandkids are spoiled? I better go buy a whole bunch of dumb shit real quick so my great grandkids don't have the choice to be spoiled. No, I mean, look,
you
raise. Here's what you do. You raise good kids that will hopefully raise good kids. That will hopefully raise good kids. That's what you do. And then that money.
What about like a trust fund?
Trust fund's fine. They'll get it when they're adults or ready for it, or you know, you can allocate a certain amount to this one, a certain amount to that one. That's fine. You're still the wealth you've created is still going to your family. But this idea of like, no, I'm going to make sure I'm broke when I die. So then, do you have life? You don't. I'm assuming you don't have life insurance then, because fuck them. I mean,
yeah, life insurance. I don't even think I have my parents' name on it.
Who's the benefactor? Who's the benefactor of your life insurance?
I probably put like my friend's name or some shit. I didn't think about it.
You should. You know who you should change it to? Me.
You?
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. You would probably do better with it than anybody else.
You should change it to me, and then 4 days later.
Seriously.
Oh my God. He fell down the stairs. I can't believe it. Why'd he fall down the stairs?
He was carrying a new camera and it fell on his head.
Yeah. Is the ink dry on this life insurance policy? Has the ink dried yet? Looks like Rudy's hair. Okay, it's dripping still.
So Shaq isn't necessarily saying that he's not. He said he's
now. Look. By the way, Guy Fieri may be joking around. This is a bigger point because you know lots of people have been saying this lately. Okay.
Yes, but Shaq stated that in order for his children to inherit his wealth, they must get a bachelor's degree and a master's degree. That's it. That's fair.
Yeah.
If they don't do both, they don't get the money.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, but if you're Shaq's kid, how tough is it to get a master's degree? He's paying for your college, and all your teachers are going to be like, that's Shaq's kid.
Oh, that's Shaq. Yeah,
like, that's true. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I'll be a doctor of professional wrestling, and if my school doesn't offer it, I'll just tell them I'm Shaq's kid.
Well, how much harder can you possibly make it than that? And
no, I mean, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. And I think
hurdles are nice.
And yeah. And if you have the funds, if you have the means, like the whole, you know, people talk about higher education and all these kids being in debt and everything. If you have the means to send your kids to college and you're like, no, you have to go to college. I'll pay for it, but you have to go to college. You have to get a degree. I have no problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
I have a problem with the like mentality of no, because if I leave it to them, they'll be entitled.
What about the opposite then of you give your kids nothing because you don't want to spoil them, and then you leave them an like a nice inheritance when you die. When they're old enough to not, you know, they're 40, 50, whatever, and they're not spoiled, you leave them a nice chunk, but they don't give them too much. If you're rich, you don't give give them too much because you don't want to raise spoiled kids.
Then don't raise spoiled kids. What are you talking about? Everybody with money is spoiled? Everybody who's ever inherited money is spoiled and entitled? Everyone?
Yeah, well, I mean, but you could guarantee that won't happen if you don't, you know, give them a
Then why'd you make all the money to start with? What'd you make all the money for? Why did you do that?
I just said that.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, it goes back. If you're like, oh, I got to burn all this money before I die because my kids can't handle it, then why did you make it to begin with?
So okay. So
are you just running up the scoreboard?
So if you have a net worth of $100 million or $50 million, are you giving your kids a blank checkbook?
Well, they're not going to be 6.
Yeah.
Whatever I got, they got. Of course.
Daddy, hey, Daddy, by the way, I just bought, you know, this Ferrari for $250,000, whatever. How much?
Well, here's the thing. I would raise good people and teach them how to manage funds.
Yeah, but that's hard. Even if you teach them good lessons when they
not if you fucking take 2 seasons off of going to the diner because you're not going to give your kids money anyway. It's not just Guy Fieri.
Because you got to make it tough for them. I feel like you're still holding a grudge.
From the old Guy Fieri stuff, because I never brought it up when anybody else said it, right?
This is a fuck Guy Fieri segment. I still remember.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's so controlling. I did this, not you. Okay, whatever, dude. I don't want your money. Good. Go burn it then. Like,
but also, but what I'm saying is, if you don't give them too much money while you're alive,
okay,
it gives them a good work ethic. I mean, you can tell your kids.
No, that's fine. I'm not saying everybody gets blank checkbooks forever, but like,
right.
If you're dead, what are you doing with it? Hopefully, they'll be adults by the time that you're dead. Hopefully.
What if you go? What if in your will you go? Since I won the lottery,
not you, my lotto ticket, not your ticket.
I won the lottery and I got $200 million. I just thought it'd be also fair for someone else randomly to win the lottery. So I decided to give all my earnings to this Indian kid.
Because fair is fair.
I've never met him.
Guess what? Now he won the lottery.
Won the lottery.
Yeah. If you want to amass my fortune, you go out and buy your own lottery ticket. It's so selfish.
It's not selfish if you're just passing down the lottery.
Yeah, I'm trying to pass this good karma. Yeah. No, I mean, it's just always weird to me. People make a lot of money and they're like, well, I can't give this to my kids. Well, why not? Who are you going to give it to? Why'd you make all that money? What are you doing? How egotistical is this?
I'm gonna leave it to my 25-year-old wife.
Yeah, exactly. You'll marry a 25-year-old when you're 78, but you won't leave the money to your kids. And it's because I want to. I have their best interest at heart. Oh yeah, okay.
I saw her in the trenches. She was there. She was working hard for that money.
Yeah. She's my ride or die. Yeah. Well, you see, this is what I'm worried about. This is what happens when you have too much money. You just make weird stuff. Did you hear about CosMc?
No.
CosMc, McDonald's has decided McDonald's is not enough. They've opened a new restaurant. They plan on making it like a chain, like McDonald's, I would hope. I mean, I would think that they would hope. It's basically, they said it's like a hybrid. It's like Starbucks meets like Sonic Drive Up. It's like a drive-in, drive-through restaurant. You don't go inside to sit at all. And they have like, special beverages. They don't really have meals. They have like breakfast sandwiches. Like they have a creamy queso sandwich, an avocado tomatillo sandwich, and then they also have Egg McMuffins. But this says it's from the McDonald's universe. So it's still from the McDonald's universe. They have their McDonald's soft serve available. And then they don't have I guess they do have, they have like regular soda, but what they're really pushing is like the special teas. Like they have all kinds of like black tea and sweet tea and berry hibiscus sourade and blueberry ginger boost. And you can put in like an energy shot or a vitamin C shot. And this is ballsy to do right on the heels of what's it called? Panera's been doing to people with their drinks.
The Panera Def Lemonade.
Yeah. CosMc.
They rebranded it.
Yeah. Hey, CosMc, I'd like a lemonade with 7 shots of caffeine, please. Yeah, so they put this out in Bolingbrook, Illinois. That's the first location, and it's there now. See, cars are lining up and everything. Like I said,
it's always some really random fucking place where they open like things for the first time.
Always, it's never any place cool. City. No, but it's probably because New York City is like very competitive. In Bolingbrook, they're like, we got a new thing, and everybody's like, oh, we got to check out this new thing. I have no idea what it is.
This was probably in the news, in the local news.
It was definitely in the news, dude. They said it opens at 6 a.m., and there were cars that showed up at 3:30 a.m. to be the first online.
Oh, my God.
They said there were people waiting like 2.5 hours on a line of cars. They said by noon, the lines were like 100 cars deep, waiting to just get hibiscus berry drink. And I guess the way
that's for them to be like,
I went to CosMc. You ever heard of CosMc? I went there.
Just be like, oh, it was okay. The tea was all right.
I mean, I'm trying to figure out what the thinking is behind this. The CEO described it as, what would happen if a McDonald's character from the 1980s that was part alien, part surfer, part robot were to open a restaurant in 2023?
That is a
CosMc's
high idea.
And then I found out there actually was a CosMc. That is a character from the 1980s McDonald's commercials. That's CosMc. Yes. And so this is like, they found the most random. I mean, Grimace was all the rage last year. Or I feel like this year. And they couldn't go like, this is Grimace's restaurant. How does CosMc be the first guy to get his own McDonald's spinoff?
You sound like everyone when Guardians of the Galaxy came out. Why is Guardians of the Galaxy making a movie? Why is CosMc's getting a
That's true. Maybe they got
a restaurant.
Maybe they got whoever is the McDonald's equivalent of James Gunn to design this restaurant. It's like, okay, I didn't think CosMc's was gonna work, but CosMc's is like my favorite restaurant now. I love the spicy queso sandwich. There's a blueberry lemon cookie if you want that. And pretzel bites. I mean,
I don't think I'd get anything queso-y from a McDonald's joint.
No, it's CosMc's. Like,
yeah,
this kind of looks like an Auntie Anne's, but with more drinks.
Now, is this like obviously you said you can't walk in or whatever? Is this very machine oriented? Like, I'm guessing that maybe there's gonna like one worker there, and you. Because that's where they're headed.
Well, yeah, it is. They have 3 lanes. And it's very small. Like, you can't really tell in this picture. But apparently it takes up very little real estate. And it's just this, like, small building. And there's 3 lanes. There's probably a lot of people working there right now because of how long the lines are. But, yeah, I mean, you probably would still need 5 or 6 people, right, total? Like, although I think the way it's designed, to tell you the truth, now that you bring it up, as limited as this menu is and the fact that it's all beverages, you don't really need like a whole chef. You don't need people working the kitchen. Yeah, you could probably get by with like 4 people working there at a time. And then, once you get robots or you automate the selections, you won't even need people answering the drive-thru. You could do it all touchscreen.
This would be where they would test it out first and then employ it into the rest of McDonald's. Yeah.
Yeah, they said they're looking at Texas for a CosMc's. I have to believe that they're testing technology. There's no way they think CosMc's is going to be a hit. Like, what even is? Why would you? I don't understand what it's the replacement for.
Does McDonald's own any other chains that aren't McDonald's?
I don't know.
This is like the first one.
I think they might be a part owner of like Chipotle, maybe.
What? Let me see.
I think that they bought Chipotle at some point. Yeah, look that up, and I'll tell you, they also have a snack box, which is a hearty mix of thick smoked Gouda cheese, sliced pepperoni, flaxseed crackers, and a handful of almonds and dried cranberries. That sounds like the box that they charge you $7 for in Coach on Delta or something like that. That's airplane food. All of this is airplane food. McPops. Those are like...
Wow, this list is bigger than I thought.
They own a lot of restaurants, right?
List of companies owned by McDonald's, Domino's Pizza.
Until
2003. So I guess that stopped.
They got rid
Chipotle
of it.
was until 2006.
Okay.
Boston Market for a little bit, Krispy Kreme for a little bit.
But they got out of it.
Yeah, they got out of it, but they used to. Oh, that's surprising.
Yeah. Yeah, I just, I don't know, more power to them, but I'll probably just stick with regular McDonald's, get those adult Happy Meals, try to get them McNugget buddies, you know what I'm saying?
Try to foam out the mouth for the Grimace shake.
Hope he doesn't kill me.
I'll stick with that.
Yeah, me too.
Hope it does.
I'm in the will, right? You see this graphic pop up this week?
What am I looking at here? Is this an eye test?
Saw 11, baby! Saw 11! Saw 11! It does look like an eye test. Saw 11! It's confirmed. We're getting it. Saw 11. September 27th, 2024. I spent a lot of years living by the phrase, If it's Halloween, it's Saw. Well, guess what? We're back to it, baby. Annual Saw releases. Do you understand that this year, around Halloween time, I got a Saw movie. Around Thanksgiving time, I got Thanksgiving. Next year, Saw 11, Thanksgiving 2. Everything's coming up Roberts right now.
The overload. It's an overload.
It's not an overload. It's the only thing people are going to see. Do you know how great it is when you really think about it? Like, to be me right now? Because I'll bet the Von Erich movie is going to do good, right? I bet it's going to do good. All the reviews have been good. The more people see it, the more people talked about it. I mean, Hot Dog, you liked it, right?
I thought it was great. Yeah.
It's got the Hot Dog seal of approval. What more could you possibly want? If the Von Erich
I thought it was great. Yeah.
With your face next to it. If the Von Erich movie makes money, it's going to be official. The only thing in theaters making money right now are Godzilla monsters, horror movies, and wrestling stuff. And this is what I've been trying to tell you from the beginning. Follow me.
You're in the middle
know
of
what I'm
two
talking
golden
about.
eras right now.
Horror and wrestling? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? So Saw 11, did you see Saw 10?
No. Wasn't that the Chris Rock one?
No, that was Spiral, Saw 9. Saw 10 just came out in October.
No, I haven't seen it then.
It just came out this year. I made Nicole, my other person I do a show with, go see it. We talked about it.
Yeah. And she thought it was too much.
She doesn't like these movies. I'm gonna make her see Saw 11 too. she's got to see how the story goes. So it's coming out September 27th, 2024. The same writing team from the previous two also did Saw 10. So the same team that did Jigsaw wrote the Chris Rock one, Spiral. And Jigsaw and Spiral weren't that great, but Saw 10 was pretty great. Those guys wrote all three of those movies. They will not be back. They said it's no beef. No beef, they said. No beef. It's all good. But we're not going to be writing this one. Somebody else is. I'm Paul, and that's between y'all.
Doesn't that scare you?
No, because there have been the Saw franchise is such a mess that it doesn't scare me. No, I'm ready. I'm ready for wherever it's going to go. It's not going to, I tell you what, Saw 11 is not going to be the worst Saw. You'd have to work to make Saw movies as bad as some of the other Saw movies have been. Like,
which one's the worst?
Maybe Saw 3D is pretty bad. Maybe Saw 3D.
And I mean,
Saw 3D
was Saw 3D the actual third one? Or
no. It was 8. It was 8, the 8th one.
It's confusing.
And it was supposed to I think probably Saw 8.
Oh, I remember seeing that one.
No, it was 7. It was 7. It was 7. It was the 7th one. Saw 3D was the 7th one. Because Saw 8 would have been Jigsaw.
Super gimmicky with the 3D.
It was terrible. Saw 8 was Jigsaw. Saw 9 was Spiral, the Chris Rock one. And obviously, so Saw 7 was Saw 3D. And that was probably the worst one. But I'll tell you what, Hot Dog, for next week, I'll make my ranking from 1 to 10 of the best Saw movies. That's a great plan.
I'd love to hear it for the first time.
We've literally already done a franchise review of it. But we're going to have to do it again because the franchise is expanding. Saw 10 made something like $100 million. And it was on a $13 million budget. That's what Giuliani should do.
What?
Make a Saw movie.
Why is Saw 10 getting such a little budget so far into the series?
Because because Spiral was not a giant hit, and there hadn't been a Saw movie in forever. So, like, it was kind of a dead franchise, and they were like, let's do another one. And $13 million is actually kind of high for, I mean, it's not low. It's a Saw movie. You know what I mean? It's not like you got to pay giant stars to be in this thing. You got to, make some traps and get that mask and get a couple tape recorders.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, it looks like I typed in the budget for Saw 3D for an example, and it was only $17 million.
Right, and that's when they were going one after the other, after the other, after the other. Yeah, we're not talking about Marvel movies here, Hot Dog. That's why horror is so great, because you're like, we'll give you $6 million, and hopefully you can get a return. You know what I mean? Like Damien Leone making whatever he made, $100 million on Terrifier that he made for I think the budget on Terrifier 2. $93, and he made $100 million. So it's a huge return.
That sounds right. Yeah.
It was a huge return.
40 of that was an Uber ride for the talent.
Now, yeah, that's right. Now, here's the Here's the thing. There's going to be speculation now as to what's going to happen in Saw 11. Because Saw 10, the only way they made it work. Because Saw really started to fall apart. Because what do people love in Saw? They love the dude. They love Tobin Bell. They love Jigsaw. They love the old man. Except they killed the old man in Saw 3. Which was a huge mistake. So everything after Saw 3, they're trying to figure out, like, how do we fix this? I think, like,
I'm surprised they haven't gone the route of, I mean, I know how the story goes, like he has his apprentices and all that stuff, but the apprentices are still following his commands or his instructions. Why not just move away from that entirely? Why not just make it like a copycat guy?
Well, they've kind of done it, but you know, because they did it a little bit, and nobody cares. Nobody wants to see a movie about the copycat. They just want to see the old man, big whoop, you know. And then they thought that like the reveal at the end of the movie would be who's the killer. I don't care if it's not the old man. I don't care.
I want to see how the old man is connected to this.
Yeah, exactly. Give me a
so good.
Which is why Saw 10 did so well, because they were like, oh, we didn't tell you. Between Saw 1 and Saw 2, there was this other shit that had happened, and we never told you, but here's the movie. And so they just brought back the old man and Shawnee Smith and Amanda, you know, she played Amanda, and they just brought back the beloved characters that they'd already killed off by saying this had happened. Now,
how did they use it? They have to use a lot of de-aging to make it make sense.
No, they just put Amanda in a wig. They put her in a bad wig, and like they were like, yeah, whatever. She's way younger. And I was like, okay, all right, that's fine. I believe you. See, they had this character, Detective Hoffman, is what it's like you were saying. It's the apprentice to Jigsaw. But see, Jigsaw had this moral code, right? He was living by a set of morals. You always did have the chance to survive. And Detective Hoffman started rubbing people the wrong way because he didn't follow the code. He didn't give people the chance. Like there was no way to escape. And so while that was interesting,
it was personal for him.
Yeah, but it was also like, as the audience, you were watching, you're like, okay, but this is now we're just watching torture porn. This is a different movie now. There's no sort of, it's just, oh, this guy just wants to hurt people, right? So the question is, how are they going to do Saw 11? There was a post-credit scene. What are you munching on over there? What are you having for yourself? Apple?
Spit in the face of people. I'm about to spit on your screen.
Yeah. It'd be great if you spit all over your laptop for the joke and then went, oh, man. So they showed Detective Hoffman in a post-credit scene of Saw 10. And so I guess we're going to see this relationship form in Saw 11. But I do wonder, are they going to try to like redo a franchise and just go, no. There was so much other shit that we never told you about while the Saw movie, like between Saw 1 and 3, yeah, you saw Saw 2, but there was like 15 other things that happened that we just never told you about. So we've got a whole bunch of other movies that we're just going to retcon in there. I mean, how far can they go with the, no, this had happened before. You didn't know.
Yeah, I think they probably gone as far as they can. Just either reboot it or bring a different angle to it. Just move away from the old man.
They tried it. They tried it. It was lame.
Yeah, but but you could try again. There's good ways to do it.
I would say let's keep going back in time. All right. Let's just go back in time as much as possible. You know what they did in Saw 10? They waterboarded a kid in blood.
That's bad. That's hardcore.
It was wild. Okay? And you know why they were able to pull that off and make it interesting? Went back in time. They went back in time.
But how isn't the actor like 70 years old?
Yeah, but he's looked 78 for the last 30 years. So who cares? Like he's one of those guys that has always looked old. So I don't even know. He could be 40 right now. I don't know. I have no idea. You know, he's just lived a hard life. But
right.
They put De Niro and Pacino. They played like 25-year-olds in that Irishman movie. We have technology now. We can do this.
And they were judged for it.
Well, the stomping. We won't have Jigsaw stomp anybody, and it should be okay. Yeah. It would be great if they put out like Saw 13 and they're still doing this. They have another new writer and it's just he's doing stuff that totally contradicts everything. And he's like, no, I didn't see the other movies. I don't know. I'm excited, man.
I just don't think. If the series wants to continue, I think maybe before, cause they want to make it to 20, 30 years later, have it still be a thing, like the Jason movies and Halloween and all that stuff.
They already did it. We're 20 years in.
Are we?
Yeah, dude. It came out in the early 2000s. Look up the first Saw. It came out in the early 2000s.
Saw 1 came out 2004. Wow.
19 years, bro. They did it. They did it. Why are you being a hater anyway? You don't want to leave your kids any money, and you think that Saw needs to change things up? No.
Man.
What did you eat a bowl of you don't know what the fuck you're talking about before you started the show?
You know what it is? It's probably because I was young. I was too young to watch it in 2004, so my memory of it's a little. I'm thinking 2008.
Bro, I saw the first Saw in the movie theaters. It was the greatest thing ever. When the reveal comes, when the ending, the surprise ending, the twist, it's the best. You understand? I got to live in a time where I saw The Sixth Sense and Saw 1 in the movie theater without the ending being spoiled. That's wild.
That's magic. That's magical.
It's magical.
Now everything is like, oh, let me guess. They were dead the whole time. But you were there for that.
I was there for that. Like, I lived in a time when that wasn't a thing, right? M. Night Shyamalan was like, I don't even know who that is. Now it's like, he's the director from They Were Dead the whole time.
What was the trip before that? Like, what was the stereotypical twist? Oh, I know it was. It was a dream all along, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, probably right before that was Usual Suspects. So you go Kaiser Soze. Kaiser Soze only had between Usual Suspects and Sixth Sense. But Usual Suspects was the point of reference for a while. And then, it was those TV shows. Either it was a dream the whole time, like Bob Newhart, or like Corky's looking into the snow globe, and it was all just in his imagination. Right. Yeah.
You just wasted 10 years of your time watching this show.
What? It never happened. No, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It's all fake. We can't.
That's how we should end our show.
We can't. By the way, we can't end tonight's episode yet. You understand that, right? You understand we can't, right? There are too many.
I mean, I see it going, and I'm for it.
Keep
it going.
Hot dog. There are wild rumors out there. There are wild rumors out there in the world of sport, and we haven't covered sports tonight. And there are wild rumors. Do you know there's a member of the Pelicans that the chefs in New Orleans absolutely love? Wait till you hear this scoop.
I want to meet him.
Wait till you hear this scoop that Stephen A. Smith delivered on First Take and his podcast and anywhere else he could get a microphone.
Anyone who would listen.
Anyone who would listen.
It is shameful. You got chefs in New Orleans. I'm not exaggerating. I'm quoting people. You got chefs in New Orleans who love him. They're looking for him. Every chef there wants to meet him because they know he'll show up to their restaurant. The word out on Zion Williamson is that he'll eat the table. I'm quoting. He'll eat the table. What in...
Who are you quoting? Who is he quoting? The chefs? He will eat the table. I quote. I am quoting. He will eat the table. And the nerve of this guy, Stephen A. Smith, who I adore, by the way. I know some people hate him, but I think he's awesome. He goes, we're saying this out of love. He's saying that out of love, like celebrities don't give their kids inheritances to teach them a valuable lesson. No, you're not saying it out of love. He went to the free throw line. I saw a belly. You wouldn't say it dramatically like that. He's got to say it like he's like a preacher. That's not how you say it out of love. You don't say that to be like, I worry about you. I worry about you because you know what you look like? You look like you'll go to a restaurant and eat the table. Like he's actually worried. He's worried that Zion Williamson is going through a rough patch right now, and he's at the point where he's eating furniture. Like he's seriously worried that Zion Williamson is consuming furniture at restaurants, and we need to care for this man because he's got wood in his stomach from eating tables.
My favorite part about that clip is that he's still trying to portray some kind of journalistic integrity by saying my sources, and I quote.
And I quote, I have spoken. They want to meet him.
The hell, Ellie. It is shameful. You got chefs in New Orleans. I'm not exaggerating. I'm quoting people. You got Ellie.
By the way,
it is.
How great is it that Shannon Sharp over there, he left Skip Bayless because Skip Bayless was too disrespectful to athletes.
Not the right ones.
Well, because all the athletes are like, he is fat. Like Charles Barkley thinks he's fat. Shaq thinks he's fat. They're all like, well, he's not. Stephen A is not wrong on this one.
Shameful. You got chefs in New Orleans. I'm not exaggerating. I'm quoting people.
He's not exaggerating.
You got chefs in New Orleans who love him. They're looking for him.
Hello,
You
chef.
have a chef that loves you, Sam?
Chef, do you have a comment on Zion Williamson? Yeah, I love that man. I'm looking for him, actually. Have you seen him? They're looking for him.
Imagine that. Imagine that thought. Just chefs wandering the street of New Orleans looking for Zion.
Zion! Zion! Like a child looking
Luckily,
for their
you can hear the belly bouncing.
He said, the chefs told me they're like children looking for their lost dogs, walking up and down the streets of New Orleans. Because they said, and I quote, he eats tables.
Stephen A. Smith reminds me, he's like Booker T of everything sports related.
Like you know, whatever he's saying, he's thinking of it in the moment right now.
Yeah.
Like this thought just came to him and he's like, this is going to be a great idea to say this. Well,
you can imagine Booker T saying all of this.
100%. Let me tell you something. Stephen A., there was follow-up to this. People were wondering, is he going to apologize, right? Did you know Zion's stepfather called Stephen A. Smith, called him on the phone? Did you know about that?
Okay. I did not know.
Stephen A. brought it to the show.
I haven't seen the follow-up.
Yes, Stephen A. brought it to the show. So Zion Williamson may be eating tables, but what do you think? You think Stephen A. is going to start eating some humble pie? What do you think, Hot Dog?
I think Stephen A. is going to double down.
Okay, well, let's make a bet on that. Gentleman's bet. What do you say?
All right.
He's talking about me. Okay.
Okay.
His stepdad called me this morning, and we had a really, really good conversation. So I'm going to reiterate what I said. Over the weekend on my podcast, Stephen A. Smith Show, certainly on First Take, I said that Zion Williamson looked fat. I meant it. I'm not stuttering. Zion Williamson, if you're listening, you're welcome. Because you said if somebody is saying it to you because they're rooting for you and they want it and it's coming from a good place because they want you to succeed, then thank you. It's exactly what I was doing.
I didn't stutter. Do you think he's rooting for Zion Williamson?
Just, I mean, if he was rooting for Zion, he can maybe, I mean, he has his stepdad's number. He could probably just talk to Zion directly and just give him some advice.
I think Zion would take the call from Stephen A. I think so.
Yeah.
He could at least talk to Zion's chef friend, and see if the chef could put him in touch. He loves him.
Your talent is great.
Yes.
It's not good. It's great.
Oh.
You are holding the championship aspirations of the New Orleans Pelicans in your hands. I'm not absolving them. They could do a better job with you. They could do a better job with a lot of things as an organization in New Orleans. But that does not absolve you from looking and being out of shape. When I talked about folks said you eat the table or chefs looking at you, I was not joking, nor was I making it up.
He's saying it's true. Chefs are saying that he eats tables.
I believe him too. I don't think. Do you think Stephen A. is making it up?
I don't think so. He's doubling down, and he's saying. And by the way, he's not stuttering.
No.
Yeah, no.
I love you, and you are disgusting.
They said that. The chef said they love you because you eat their tables.
I'm not making it up.
Do you know how much a restaurant bills you for a table? It's certainly more than the cost of the table.
What I was saying
Zion
is
just like
that's
he's
what
so obsessed he forgets where the food stops and where the food stops and where the table starts.
Well, the way I thought of it was that he fills up the table with food and he just loves it all so much that he just eats the table with it. Like he just eats the whole thing.
Okay.
You know?
We have different interpretations
Yeah.
going on.
But I'd have to ask the chef that Stephen A. talked to because he said it's true.
they're saying about you behind your back. That's how those folks, whoever they may be, are speaking about you
That's terrible.
in the city of New Orleans.
Stephen's saying
for
that's
what
terrible.
We're hearing. You have to do something about that. Without you,
Right.
New Orleans is lucky to make it to the first round of the playoffs. With you in your A game, y'all challenge for the title. You're at the very least in the Western Conference Finals. That's the reality of the situation. Everything that Shannon Sharp
See?
just said about you.
See? It's all good. It's all love, hot dog. You misinterpreted it.
We have to put some responsibility and accountability to, Zion because he's eating the table.
He's eating tables.
But some accountability has to go to these chefs. They're enabling this poor man. Why does he ring up the chefs?
The
and
chefs
tell
are
them, hey,
because
stop looking for him.
the chefs are trying to make enough money that they don't have to leave it to their kids. So, you got to let the chefs be the chefs. And then of all weeks,
Let them cook.
you got to let them cook. Of all weeks, as if Zion wasn't dealing with enough already. You know this one too, huh, hot dog?
Oh, I love it.
As if this poor guy. Remember he got that girl pregnant and then the porn star wouldn't leave him alone on Twitter?
That was last season.
That was last season. This season, it's Stephen A. Accusing him of eating tables. As if he hadn't dealt with enough. He gets in front of a microphone while he's dealing with all this belly accusations, furniture eating accusations. And he says this, and this clip has been viewed millions of times. And I'm not exaggerating. And when I said it's been viewed millions of times, I meant it. I didn't stutter.
I think we kind of went into the game too, like Castella's.
What was that?
Sorry, could you repeat?
I must not have heard that correctly.
I think we kind of went into the game too, like Castella's.
He's got a lot on his mind, okay? Leave the poor guy alone. You're making him do press conferences while Stephen A. is accusing him of eating tables. He's not going to get the word lackadaisical out.
Well, I mean, yeah, and he's probably in the hotel room looking at his belly.
Oh.
Probably looking around.
You know
It's
what
rough.
he's looking at in the hotel room? He's looking at that room service menu, and he keeps thinking about Stephen A. making fun of him. All he wants to do is order some food, and he knows that Stephen A. is making fun of him. Any restaurant that you understand, Stephen A. is on national television. First Take is the biggest show in sports. You understand. Every chef in New Orleans is laughing about that. You understand. Every restaurant that Zion Williamson goes into, he has to be insecure about the fact that the chef who's in the kitchen as he sits at the table is laughing at the thought of Zion eating the table. And Zion has to worry about the fact that maybe this is the restaurant where the chef told Stephen A. that I eat the table. And how did Stephen A. know to call this restaurant anyway?
Who's snitching on me? What? You think you're safe at a restaurant? You don't think anyone's going to snitch on you? Your favorite chef is going to snitch on you?
That's why you can't eat tables.
And now the restaurants that he goes to on away games, now they're all going to be all the chefs are going to be looking for him.
Oh, they're going to be happy when he's going to bring up the town economy, apparently. It's not right what's going on. Poor Zion. Poor Zion. And then Barkley said that I think it was either Barkley or Shaq. It was on the TNT show, I think.
The GOATs.
It's the best. They said that he only that he doesn't demand the ball, that he feels like he's got this talent, right? And he's got a lot of talent, but he doesn't do anything with it. He doesn't build on the talent and the belly and the belly. I saw a belly.
I saw the belly bounce. I'm not joking.
It's not right. It's really not right.
Now, I don't know if you have the Kevin Garnett clip
I wasn't
of him mispronouncing
when the word was right in front of him? Of course, it's,
Yeah, I
it's right.
forgot what the word was.
It's right here. I mean, you don't have to worry about it. It's right here in the replies. I was literally watching the clip earlier today. I didn't want to humiliate him.
NBA player. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go.
Okay,
here we go.
Hang on, KG. Hang on for a second. You're getting ahead of yourself. So the ball, the is spinning the wheel. The word is equivalent. NFL equivalent. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, KG's probably pretty pissed that Zion is bringing this thing up. He just got over it. You know? Everybody was like, oh, yeah, but Uncut Gems. Everybody moved on. Now this is back. This is the last thing he needs.
Okay, here we go. Kind of like name an NFL equivalent for each NBA player.
I mean, I heard it. He said name an NFL equivalent for each NBA player. Listen to him say, name an NFL equivalent for each NBA player.
Maybe he said it really fast.
He did.
Okay, here we go. Kind of like name an NFL equivalent for each NBA player. Okay, here we go.
Equivalent. He's equivalent.
Now, I only bring that up because the discussion online turned to which one was worse, in your opinion. Is it worse that KG can't read equivalent, but he didn't have a choice. It was a worse.
Okay. So the question is it the word is right in front of him and he's reading it and he can't get it. However, Zion chose to say that word and he couldn't say it. Okay, all right. Okay, all right.
Okay, here we go. Kind of like name an NFL equivalent for each NBA player.
Okay, that was rough. That is not great. That wasn't good at all. Okay, let's.
Yeah, you gotta have it back to back.
Yeah.
I went into the game too, like Kazega's,
Because he's going out of his way.
I'll tell you, I think the KG one is a little tougher because, and I'll tell you why it is. He's not doing well. He's not doing well. And although he chose that word that he can't say, he's down. He's down and he's out. He's been punched around a lot. For me, it's KG's enthusiasm because he almost submits to the fact that he made a huge mistake trying to say that word. But KG thinks he's smooth. He thinks he's finessing us. He thinks we don't know that he is.
They didn't hear that.
No, exactly. He's still moving around. So for me, that's a little more embarrassing. But
people also pointed out that KG had to figure it out. You had to point out all the words.
Oh, like you slowly like when you're in school learning. Yeah. They're both tough, bro.
There's always that one kid.
They're both tough. I like that. You're famous for mispronouncing words, like pizza and all that stuff, but you still can find joy in others, which I do appreciate.
It's good. It's good because the spotlight's not on me. Eventually, it will be.
It will be, but also, you're not a professional athlete. You're not on television. You're not going through it. Stephen A's not using his airtime every single day to talk about your belly. There's other ramifications here. Yeah, for sure. Oh, man. Well, look, guys, we're going to get into these super chats. Every super chat will get acknowledged. So if you're watching the show tonight, you want us to tackle something, you want us to expand on something, you want anything to be discussed, super chat it in. We will acknowledge every super chat. Also, if you're looking at our other YouTube channels, there's a new Satisfying podcast that came out yesterday. It's a great one. Nicole Ryan has to deal with she made the mistake of asking me if I thought that a cult would be able to convince her to join. And I mean, it was lightning fast.
Absolutely.
I
don't even know her personally.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. And then also over on the Notsam Wrestling channel, the Baron Corbin interview is up right now. It's a great interview with great footage as well. Am I right, Hot Dog?
I would say it was perfectly short.
I can't speak to the editing. but it was perfectly shot. Interview, but the footage. All right. Super chat in. Every super chat will get acknowledged. Oh, it's always good to hear from our financier, executive producer, Six Crow, who writes, "It's sad when I have more money than Rudy." And after that super chat, all things considered, I may have more money than Rudy as well.
We all have more money than Rudy.
That's right. That's right. We can congratulate ourselves on that. Not Sam Lehman says, "Sam, my company does through."
This is a KG moment.
I know, and now I'm going to skip that word. My company. Oh. I think he just put 2 GHs in the word through through this all the time. Basically, what will happen? Anytime Rudy tries to sell something, house, cars, or WrestleMania tickets, that money will go towards the money he owes and he's owed until it's paid, or he owes until it's paid. Yes. However, it will never be paid, so it will just everything.
But what if he doesn't sell his house? They can't just come for his house?
I don't know.
Like if his house is worth millions, and they're just like, "What the fuck? That house is worth millions. Why can't we just get that?"
We'd like the house, please. We'd like the house.
Can they do that?
I'll bet.
Please super chat in to answer Lehman.
Dave Bostian, F. Mary Kill, Grimace, Jigsaw, or Angie. I'm going to put that on you, Hot Dog. Grimace, the Jigsaw Killer, and Angie, the former love of your life that married and was impregnated by somebody else.
Impregnated? She had a kid, yes. That seems nasty the way you phrase that.
Well, is it false? What I said was true, and I didn't stutter.
And I quote, impregnated. Let's see. Let's go through this fast. Grimace, I think I will marry because he's, food related. I can get some free Grimace shakes for life. That's nice. And he just seems like a loving character and probably gives really good hugs too. I'd have to fuck Jigsaw.
Really? Just to say you did, because he is the Jigsaw Killer?
Yeah. And, maybe I'll make it towards the end. Maybe live or die. It is my choice, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
And unfortunately,
I'm
going to have to off my dear friend.
That is unfortunate. He also, these are all from Dave Bostian. Hot Dog, who you got for Secret Santa? Go ahead.
Oh.
That was cute. He's cute. I like that. Quote, I did it for me. Hot Dizzle in his MFM triangle. Okay.
I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Hot Dog, statement on Palestine, please. Chip Chop.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So I think.
There it is. Okay, it's cute. Is Steak and Shake steak? It's in the name. Dave, enough. B Herb. Oh, an F Mary Kill for Hot Dog. Your mom.
Lord.
Sam's mom. My mom.
Kill my mom. Let's see.
That was quick.
You start with the easy one.
Wow.
No, if I have a choice here, I don't want to marry or fuck my mom. I'm sorry, mom. You gotta go. You
It's just very easy for you.
I love my mom, but
I don't think
I
so.
don't want to marry my mom.
You want to kill her.
Yeah. I'll marry Sam's mom because she's very sweet. Wait, your mom, Sam's mom, my mom. Oh, okay. I'll fuck your mom, B Herb.
There you go. Yeah, no, that's the right answer.
Yeah.
Mark Sparrow, just my contribution to your SIP Club membership, brother. I appreciate that. I'm joining the SIP Club. That's what I would do if you put me on. If you put me on your life insurance, I'd sign you up for the SIP Club immediately.
Just send it to my house. Just to...
More from Dave Bostian. You're the man now, dog. You're the man now, dog. If you fancy the Jonas Brothers, cover your belly. I think he might be drunk. Not Sam Lehman. Wasn't the big twist before Kaiser Soze, The Empire Strikes Back, Luke, I am your father. That was one of the original ones for sure. And then another one from Dave. Hot dog, when is the date with Sam's brother, you girl?
He doesn't respond to my text messages. He leaves it on red.
That sucks, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that happens to you. That's embarrassing. Well, look, everybody. Appreciate you all. Thank you for hanging out tonight. Make sure you check out everything that we're doing over on the Satisfying YouTube channel, youtube.com/@satisfyingpod. And if you're into it, Notsam Wrestling, youtube.com/Notsam Wrestling. Notsam Wrestling, by the way, also available on the new SiriusXM app. Oh, yes.
Oh,
yes.
What?
Oh, yes.
How'd you get that?
Because I'm lit.
Who'd you talk to for that?
I'm lit.
Don't forget, you have another thing to plug, right? What's coming up in January?
Ooh, thank you, Hot Dog. Live in Tampa. Anybody coming out to Tampa? Huh? Live Notsam Wrestling Podcast in Tampa, Florida at Side Splitters, January 26th, Friday. It's a 5 p.m. show. You can go to notsamlive.com for tickets. Royal Rumble weekend. Those things are always an absolute blast. Hot Dog will be there signing autographs, taking pictures, and up for literally whatever. You pay him, he'll do anything. So come say what's up. Royal Rumble weekend, January 26th. Tampa Side Splitters. You got 5 styluses. You might as well use them. I'm going to cheers with you later.